RPM's long-term fleet for 2015 is slowly taking shape. We recently took delivery of a BMW 335i, and after saying a teary goodbye to our Peugeot 208 GTI, we took delivery of another Peugeot. The Peugeot 2008 is the company's first compact crossover, and although it shares a lot in common with the 208, it promises to be a very different driving experience. The biggest bit this car shares with its smaller cousin is the chassis. The 2008 is set on the same platform as the 208, and that immediately gives us some hope that it'll share one of that car's strengths, the handling. Being a crossover means that practicality is a large part of the reason it exists, but its compact footprint means it should be fun to drive. It certainly is fun to look at. Peugeot haven't followed the German route by making the front ends of their cars look all the same. In fact, the 2008 has a rather unique face with some very strong elements. The rear is quite similar to the bigger 3008, but overall it is a very nice looking package. And one that gets its fair share of attention on the road. I can't remember the last crossover I drove that got as many looks and as much finger pointing as this car. Probably because crossovers don't usually get second looks or many fingers pointed at them, but the 2008 does seem to get some love from passers-by. Using a small car's chassis might lead you to believe that it has small car space, but inside it is surprisingly roomy. Admittedly, there does seem to be a little extra room for those up front, but rear passengers get decent space and the boot will carry a fair load. The thing about this interior is that even though it's designed to carry kids to school or a bunch of surfboards or a whole load of suitcases, it isn't the least bit utilitarian. In fact, it's full of nice materials and good tech, and a particular highlight is the illumination that's straight out of a concept car. In truth, as pretty as that ceiling is, it is a bit of a hazard. You can't help but look up at it in wonder at night, which isn't the best idea while on the road. Other highlights of this cabin include very comfortable seats and a steering wheel that at first might look too small, but actually feels just right. The spec in our long-termer is the same as any other 2008, simply because there's only one spec level available in South Africa. It includes dual-zone climate control and cruise control, as well as Bluetooth and sat-nav. The touchscreen interface is a nice touch, but it's not the most intuitive system ever devised, and the music interface can be particularly frustrating. But you can't really say the same thing about the drive. Just like the spec, there isn't too much choice when it comes to the engine. Your only option is an 88 kilowatt 116 Newton meter 1600 petrol with a 5-speed manual gearbox. It is generally very capable, although it will struggle with a full load. And by that I mean 5 adults and a boot full of luggage. On the upside, it is very economical without really trying too hard. Peugeot says it'll get by on 5.9 litres per 100 k's, and while we haven't quite seen that figure yet, we're averaging a very respectable 8 litres per 100 k's and have seen a figure as low as 7.4, almost exclusively with town driving. All that said, fuel saving isn't exactly what this car is about though. It's not going to help you live the most active lifestyle in the world, despite its crossover name. The ride setup in the 2008 is very comfortable and it keeps things generally very effortless. The ride setup is about what you'd expect, although with a small steering wheel in front of you and a 208 chassis beneath you, it's not scared of having a bit of fun. It's not going to corner like a Zonda, but it does deliver a bit of confidence, and that's always a good thing behind the wheel. It's a nimble thing that's easy to maneuver in tight spaces, like the shopping mall parking lot in which one inevitably finds oneself. By which I mean you end up in parking lots, not that you find yourself in a parking lot. And for those times when a shopping mall is nowhere in sight, the 2008 has something else. It's called grip control and it's operated by this little selector down here. Basically, it's the same idea as Land Rover's terrain response, although for a front-wheel drive car that can't go anywhere that a Land Rover can go. It sets the car up for varying conditions, although Peugeot are quite sketchy on the details on exactly how it works, but hopefully we'll get the opportunity to try it out. And that test begins now. We've got the Peugeot 2008 for 6 months. Usually, our long-termers are brand new out-of-the-box vehicles, but this one arrived with 10,000 kilometers on the clock. That means we don't have to worry about running it in, and it also means we'll definitely get to sample the Peugeot service experience. We should also get to experience the crossover ability of Peugeot's first compact crossover. There is a road trip to Mpumalanga on the cards. Of course, we'll bring you the details of that story and the rest of our experience with the Peugeot 2008 through the coming months. A decent 1600 motor offers a good balance between drivability and economy. The 208 chassis helps in no small part with this car's surprising agility. The 2008 packs a well-equipped and comfortable interior, but the infotainment system can be frustrating to operate. There's a distinct lack of choice in the lineup when it comes to engines and spec.